What's up, guys? So today I wanted to talk a little bit about Diamond Dynasty, and I wanted to talk about a certain feature of the mode that's been in the mode for years now. It's called Inside Edge, and if you are a returning player of Diamond Dynasty, if you know Diamond Dynasty and you've played it the past couple years, you're probably not going to get that much new information out of this video, so you can probably click off if you want to. But if you are a newer player to the franchise, this is something that I think a lot of people are going to be taking advantage of, and they should be taking advantage of it because it gives you a lot of really good options for your team. So as you guys know, there are going to be roster updates throughout the season for MLB The Show 18. So players are going to get upgraded or downgraded depending on their performance in real life. If somebody's playing really well for a considerable amount of time in the season, they're probably going to get an upgrade to some of their attributes, and that may bump them up overall to a new tier. We may see some gold to diamond upgrades, some silver to golds, bronze to silver, etc., etc., and vice versa. You know, if somebody's playing really bad for a really big amount of time, they're probably going to get downgraded. So you need to keep an eye on your players. You need to keep an eye on who's doing well in the actual MLB. It's going to affect the community market. It's going to affect a lot of prices. We already saw that happening this weekend when Shohei Ohtani had a perfect game going through 6 innings. It got broken up in the 7th, but at the peak of his perfect game, his card is a 75 overall silver, and he was going for 15,000 on the market because a lot of people are trying to sell him for a lot of stubs, and a lot of people are trying to buy him so that way if he gets upgraded, they can sell him for more than when they bought him. So the market is very, very dependent on these roster updates, so you know, it's very important that we pay attention to this stuff. But MLB The Show also has this thing called Inside Edge and Daily Matchup, which is basically daily roster updates, but they're not permanent, so let me explain. So if you go to your squad, you've probably already seen some of this stuff. So as you can see right here on my squad screen, I have Nelson Cruz in the outfield and Brian Dozier in the infield. Now, Nelson Cruz is an 81 overall, but he's got that green arrow next to his number and he's playing up to an 83. And then vice versa for Brian Dozier. He's an 83, but he's got the red arrow and he's playing down to an 81. So let's take a look at their cards and see why this might be happening. So Nelson Cruz, guys, he's an 81 overall playing up to an 83 overall on the day. He's got +7 and +7 to his contact and power versus right-handed pitching. So instead of him having a 79-86 split against righties, he now has an 86, what is that, 93? 86-93 numbers against righties to go along with his good numbers against lefties. So he's playing a lot better on the day. Now, why is that? If you're on his player card and you hit R1, it will take you to the Inside Edge screen where it will show the daily matchup that Nelson Cruz has and why he might be playing up. So I'm taking off my face cam so you guys can see the entire screen, but the first thing you want to look at is over in the far right. It says matchup information. Cruz is slugging .591 in his last 664 plate appearances against right-handers with average strikeout rates like Junis over the past 2 seasons. So you can see what he's projected to do today, you can see the matchup, and based on these daily matchup, players' overalls will go up and will go down for a daily change. It's not going to be permanent. It has no effect on these roster updates. If a guy is always playing up on Inside Edge, that does not mean he's going to go up to a diamond, or it doesn't mean he's going to go down or whatever. These are just daily roster updates, daily little things that you can look at. So right here we can see the entire split and the entire reason why Nelson Cruz might be going up today. So head to head, he's 0 for 3 against Junis, but if you look at the other things versus similar pitchers, right-handers who rely heavily on the slider, he's got 20 hits and 53 at-bats with 3 home runs, and he's got versus other right-handers with low to average strikeout rates, 585 at-bats, 187 hits, and 42 home runs. So he's hitting really well against pitchers like that. If you go down to the bottom versus right-handed starting pitching, he's got 45 home runs and 552 at-bats, so he's really hitting the ball well. Now it says Cruz great day percentage of games played, 35%. I'm not too sure what that means. Same with the volatility rating. If anybody knows in the comments, let me know down there if you have any sort of idea. But these are all the reasons why Nelson Cruz might be playing up. It looks at all these different matchups, all these in-depth statistics are going to give you a full picture as to why Nelson Cruz might be playing up on the day. So now we can take a look at somebody who's playing down. Brian Dozier is playing down today. He's an 83 overall, playing down to an 81, and his splits against right-handed pitching are actually down 8 on the day. So he's already good against lefties, 82-93 split. But now, instead of him being 62-76, a little average to above average against lefties, he's going down to a 54-68 split against righties. So not very good. He's going to be mainly a platoon guy at this point. Taking a look at his inside edge, the reasoning behind this is because Dozier is batting 185 in 27 at-bats against Justin Verlander, who the Twins are taking on today. The only advantages Brian Dozier has are against right-handed fly ball pitchers, where he has 19 home runs in 295 at-bats, and then also has a great day percentage of games played, which is, once again, I'm not totally sure what that means, but basically Brian Dozier has not had a lot of success against Verlander and not a lot of success of pitchers who are similar to Justin Verlander. So like I said, you can pretty much look through your lineup, like Miguel Cabrera is playing up to a diamond today, or, you know, there's Justin Smoke is playing up to a gold. He's got plus 13 against righties. You can really look through and just see a bunch of different guys that might be good. Lorenzo Cain's playing up to a diamond. You know, Josh Reddick is playing up to a gold today. He's got 100 contact versus righties with that plus 12. Like this is somebody you might want to use either in the event or in BR. You know, these guys are going to be reflected in BR as well, so you know, you might be able to get some secret little diamonds in your BR drafts if you get a good gold who's playing up. So if you want to really see who the best players are on every specific day, what you need to do is you need to go to the home screen of Diamond Dynasty, and you need to go to daily matchup, and it'll tell you all of these guys who have the highest overall trend, and you can pretty much see who the best are today. So today, Cody Reed from the Cincinnati Reds is the best guy overall. Plus 32 to each of his hits and Ks per 9. Really, that's a very good upgrade. You know, plus 32. He's now at, what is that, an 85 hits per 9 today. That's really good. His velocity and break may not be there, but you know, some of the other stats don't matter for actual online gameplay. So this guy is a common, but he might be a good guy to throw in for the opening week event, or he might be a good guy to pick for Battle Royale for a starting pitcher, because, you know, he may be able to actually have a little bit more success in that first at-bat or whatever it is. You know, just because he's a common, he's playing up to a bronze today, he's playing up like 17. This is a very good upgrade for him. If we take a look at his inside edge, they don't have it as detailed for pitchers, but left-handed starters with above average ground ball rates had an ERA of 2.97 against the Phillies since last year. So the Cincinnati Reds taking on the Phillies, and so you can see that he's probably going to have an upgrade because he actually fits that mold of the pitcher that they're facing. Then you have ones like this, Tyler Olson. He's now a 55 overall. He was a 42, so he's going up. His hits and Ks are going up a little bit, but matchup score is neutral but favors Olson. So, you know, like I said, there's some that don't really make sense. There's some that are going to be kind of confusing, so take it as you will. I don't really get how this works, but the pitchers are going to be a lot less in-depth than some of the position players. So if you take a look at who the best position player is today, Victor Martinez is playing up 6 on the day. He's playing up to a silver, plus 17 against righties. So he's already got good 81 contact versus lefties, but now with that contact versus righties, he's going to have 77 contact versus them, and whatever that is, 58, 68, 78, 75 power against righties. So he's going to be good against both sides, and he's a switch hitter. So Victor Martinez might be a card you want to throw in just for today. He's hitting 326 in 43 at-bats against Kluber. He's had a lot of success against Corey Kluber, so obviously he's going to have a little bit of success in the game today. So really, you want to be paying attention to these inside edge matchups. You really want to be looking at these because you can improve your team without spending stubs every single day just by paying attention and putting in guys who may be playing a little bit better. So I'm not going to have a gameplay this video or anything like that, but if I were to go into a game, I would definitely take out Brian Dozier, and I would probably put in Robinson Cano. You know, he's got 100 or 99 contact versus lefties today, and I could use another lefty in my lineup. He's pretty much almost a diamond. He's playing up to an 84. I could throw in Ian Kinsler, or, you know, Whit Merrifield is playing up to a gold today, plus 15 contact and power versus lefties. If I take a look at an outfield position like center field, Lorenzo Cain may be a little bit of a better player to put in instead of, you know, JD Martinez, because he's playing up to a diamond. He's got better fielding, not the best arm, but the contact is up there. He challenges his hitting numbers. So you really just have to look at this stuff, guys. You really have to pay attention to what the best cards are on which day. And like I said, these aren't permanent. These don't affect things in the long run. This doesn't affect the roster updates. It just gives them a little bit of a boost to kind of reflect what's going on that day, how they anticipate these cards playing, and you know, it's a good way to kind of upgrade your team without breaking the bank for cards every single time. So let me know if you guys use Inside Edge. Do you look at the daily matchup rating? Do you pay attention to this stuff? Like, this is very important. This is a good feature, and it'll save you a lot of stubs in the long run if you don't want to keep upgrading and downgrading your team based off the roster updates. So, you know, let me know if you use this. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching this video. Drop a thumbs up on it if you learned something new, if you did enjoy. Subscribe to the channel to keep up with all the new MLB The Show 18 stuff. And yeah, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.